Hello and welcome back to the OCS Tiebreakers. My name is Ejim.
It is.
This is Carbon. You're
Also
encroaching
true.
on my territory. I feel like
Am I?
you're stealing more and more of my desk as the games progress. If you could just lean further that way as you are right now, that'd be optimal, I reckon.
I think I might just take a little bit more.
Sure.
Welcome
go.
back.
Yes.
My name's Carbon. This is Ejim.
Yep.
We cast OCS. We just cast Chief Academy.
Yes.
Win a game against Gravitas.
Yeah, we did. That was the hand. Okay,
Yep.
pretty emphatic fashion. I'm curious to see what happens with next game, right? Because that was a very messy game, a very bloody game by all accounts. It was both teams like forcing things constantly. That wasn't necessarily like a Chiefs victory where they got ahead, they looked for fights, they found the fights. It was a lot of stuff happening where Gravitas was like, yeah, let's be aggressive. Juice is going in, like looking for a fight on Cassio. That gets turned around. It was the play that kind of, I guess, ended the game somewhat, got that second Baron where Beats almost gets caught in the mid lane on Chiefs, and then it's like, okay, that fight turns around. And so it was really just both teams being incredibly aggressive in this one and coming into it. I do expect that from a lineup like Chiefs, but I also expect that from a lineup like Order. I think coming into this second game, tiebreaker is going to be Order versus Bombers, and Harry, the support for Order Academy, I think in the last couple of weeks has been absolutely popping off on Hook Champs.
Yeah, I think that throughout the top sort of 8 teams in the OCS, I think there are a number of pretty good support players. Which I think is new for Oceania. Like we've not always had a giant support pool, but I think that just looking at some of these names here, like Artek, Harry, Nausicaa, Isles, Corporal, even K-pop, Blind Turkey, like some of these, most of them are Hook players, Hook-based champ players. Most of them are aggressive. Most of them are pretty good. I think it's a really healthy spot for the league.
Yeah, I like that, right? And it's like to do with a couple of things. I think like success breeds success somewhat. When you have like a new age of support players coming up, like at the start of this season, before like 2019 OPL, let's take it a little bit bigger picture. You have names like Ayla coming out of like the OCS. He comes up, and then it's like you have like Isles. He played first couple of weeks there for AV, all over the place. And then
Corporal,
like,
another obvious one.
Yeah, playing against like other good players elevates the pool as a total. And also like the meta being conducive to having support like skill expression. Like this is the meta where we just saw a blind pick Thresh into a Nautilus matchup. We saw Pyke for weeks. It's not just like Janna versus Karma every single game.
True.
That does like open things up for these players to really shine. And
I think part of that is the patch that we've just got as well. I think that both Yuumi and Lux getting nerfed, I think they were the two they have a term for it. I can't remember what it is, but like supports where it's heals, shields.
Enchanters.
Enchanters. A little bit of CC. But with those two being nerfed, I don't think everybody knows really where they land yet. I mean, it might be that they're still just super strong. Lux, I don't expect to be because they removed the doubling of her shield altogether. So I think she'll probably fall away. But Yuumi certainly still seems strong to me. But I think those two being nerfed really opens up the pool to everybody else.
And I think that's a big thing, given that it was like laning pressure that was taken away from Yuumi. And then like Lux's laning pressure isn't the best. You often see her paired with something like a Caitlyn, right? And if you pair Lux with something that isn't like a Caitlyn...
shield auto is not the best trade.
Right? But when you're pairing like Lux with something that isn't as oppressive, then like she in and of herself isn't super lane dominant. So it could be like 9-14, the rise of... That was blind pick Thresh into Nautilus. Like we could see the Broms coming back.
Leona buff.
Yeah, Leona. I actually watched a cheeky, what was it? It was the C9 Zazel Blabber, like going over the patch. They were just reading the patch notes as well. And Zazel looks at it and was like, you're losing like 30% value on like the resist from Leona. So it's like, yes, you get flat resistances, but is like a bit of a weird spot where people are sort of torn on like, is this a buff? Is this a nerf? Don't really know where it's going. But I think it does certainly open things up for the melee supports somewhat because they have been choked out for a very long time.
Yeah, changes as opposed to buffs or nerfs. I think they usually take the longest to figure out.
Yeah, 100%.
Because people aren't sure, and I think we saw that with Cassio. Cassio got played last game. Cassio also received sort of a change. And I think those are the ones that really need to be fleshed out just through raw number of games before we know where they land. Let's talk about this game a little bit though. Bombers Academy, we've got Bushy Boo Boo playing mid. Seems like he's committed to the role.
For a while now.
He's old support sort of player, but from knowing him personally, I know he's always wanted to play mid. He's always sort of jumped between the two roles. So excited to see him play.
because from like an outside perspective, like Bushy Boo Boo, like I knew he was a support player, like I've literally played against him, but then I didn't know whether it was like, I just thought of him as like an off-roll goblin. Like every game I'd see him, like he'd play like mid-list, mid-Silas all the time, and he's actually genuinely popping off in solo queue.
Yeah.
So like, if it's just mid that he flexes to, then like, yes, now absolutely committed to the role. I thought it was like more just one of those guys that can kind of play everything.
He definitely does play like Phil main.
Yeah. One of those
definitely is. But,
dirty players.
Yeah, but looks like he's committed. Sure, Tekka.
I think Bombers have had an interesting couple of weeks, given that I think it was, off the top of my head, like 2 weeks ago-ish, like 2 weeks of gameplay, Bushy Boo Boo has played mid lane, but before that they had Frey, and then he was in the support position.
Yep.
And now they've sort of cemented themselves in what I think will be like their playoff end-of-season roster.
Yeah.
So like, I don't expect to see Frey coming back to the lineup, and I expect to see Blind Turkey stay. So they had one very rough game, especially for the bottom side of the map. I think Zenk and Blind Turkey got boomed a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But then last week was like a completely opposite performance for them. So it's just like finding their footing coming into this one versus ORA here today.
Yeah, it might just be working off the rust a little bit. I mean, those are two, Zenk and Blind Turkey, two very, very old names. They've been playing League as long as us, if not potentially longer, considering that they're still playing. But it might just be, working off the rust a little bit for them. Interested to see how they go today. Obviously, a lot on the line, gauntlet spot. They'll play at least 2 games, so we should get a decent idea of where their level is at.
Yeah, 100%. I think another name to note is JLKC on ORA.
Yep.
Out of all of the teams in, I will say, like the tiebreakers, not necessarily the playoffs, once you start bringing in teams like Legacy that I think do play a little bit weird, your guys, compared to everyone else. But ORA were a team that at the start of the season were doing just weird stuff. Mind you, like different players, but their bottom lane was like Pantheon, Talia. They were going like TP Sona support with Mog on the lineup.
Yeah.
Harry comes in. JLKC had 1 week where it was like a genuine 1v9 Vlad performance.
That's against us.
Like, just like booming at Baron. Just like team fight after team fight. He was just like, just blowing the entire team of Legacy up. So like he's definitely someone that I look to, and especially in conjunction with Uni in the jungle. Like ORA's success very often is like early game jungle mid synergy. Does that work? If not, like the game looks very hard.
Yeah, I mean a lot of that experimentation. I was gonna jump in. I think was like stemming from Mog. I think he's definitely a guy who tries to push the envelope in bot lane. And I don't think that they've done that very much since Harry has come on board.
Yeah.
But Harry, like great player, very aggressive support, is a support who's a Thresh main, which I think is, if you're going to main support, definitely please like main Thresh.
And
it's
then
going to do you the best. Yeah, it's going to be the best for you in the long run. But yeah, JLKC I think is a really talented player. Seaway, I don't know a ton about.
Yeah, has had like very good performances, very bad performances. I did just get news in my ear, though, unfortunately. A little bit of a delay getting the players into the game. I'm going to pose a question because I can't talk to the producers live on air.
Okay.
They said, I'm going to throw to a 10-minute break. I'm happy to sit here, just keep chatting about League of Legends for 10 minutes.
I don't mind.
If they will allow us. All right, we have the permission. Yeah, Seaway. We could talk about it a little bit. Like, has had like very up and down performances, I think. Right? Like, and I think OCS is like kind of a league where like amateur division coming through, they're like, you have very good games, very rough games, and consistency is really what brings you to the top of the ladder. Like when you look at the lineups that are like sitting in like first and second, Mammoth and Dire Cubs, to me, like the thing that speaks out is like, I don't look at Redemps and be like, yeah, man, like week number 3, like he just got crapped on. Like that's unlikely. It's like a rough game is like a 0-1, a 0-2. A rough game isn't like a 3-7 Lucian struggling to deal damage.
Yeah, like Hexdrinker and Merc Treads.
Yeah.
Look, I am inclined to agree. I think that I think we've spoken about this on cast before.
Yeah.
And that is that like consistency really is one of the most valuable traits you can have as a player, particularly at this level. Like when you get to like the highest level or higher level, when you're in the OPL, being a player who has 100 or 0 performances, that can be an asset in and of itself. Like you might share a position with someone on a team, and they might throw you in for a couple games.
The sword and the shield.
Yeah, in a gauntlet series, and you might pop off. You know what I mean? Like that is then an asset. But like it
wins you a game. It doesn't win you a split.
No, exactly. Yeah. And in OCS, where there are so many best of ones, there are so many teams, there are so many roster swaps. being that 100-0 guy is a really easy way to get replaced or to get dismissed by people who are looking to recruit.
Okay, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like the potential to... I mean, this is also a conversation I had last week with Benji, but also like with you just before broadcast, in the same way that like a single death is more impactful than a kill. Like winning your team the game. Does it feel as good as like losing your team the game feels negatively? Like if you were to like, you know what I mean? Like on the inverse scale of each other, it's kind of like one of those weird situations where like it probably feels arguably worse.
I think
it's like easy, and it's easier to like point towards as well. Like if you're looking for problems, like why isn't this working? Yada yada.
Yeah. But I think just to expand a little bit, it's like if I'm me as a recruiter, let's say. If I tune in 1 week because I've heard that, Vans is popping off top lane and he's like the hot new thing, and I tune in, and that week is the week that Vans goes 0-10, that's not a good... I mean, that's not a good look. I was going to say, because a recruiter worth his salt is not going to judge you based off one game. But in the OCS, you like that does happen, and you see those players get replaced. Like it does happen. And it happens every year. It's not regular in the sense that, you play bad 1 week and you're out. But it's like every year in the OCS, there are heaps of roster changes, and a lot of it is like 3 bad weeks. And it's just like, well, there's not really much cost to like replacing you. Like from a teammate's perspective, it's not like we're going to have to move a new person to Sydney who now has to drop his
like the barrier of like both sides of the coin is like significantly less.
It's just like if I'm your teammate and you just fed 3 games in a row, and it's just like, well, there's this other guy, and you can roll the dice on him. But if you're that guy, and maybe you're not winning your team the game every week, but if you're that guy and you are 0-0 week in week out, like you're playing, like you'll stick around and you'll develop, and people are going to get used to your name. And the idea of you being brought up in a discussion about like, hey, we need a new top lane next year. What are we going to do? It's like, well, actually, like this guy's like, Vans is. What about Vans? And then it's like, oh, at least we're then thinking about you. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, like this sparked up a conversation that we just tangented on, not necessarily like attached to Seaway. Of course, right? I feel like the need to say it. Like we're not just like sitting here. No. But yeah, it is kind of interesting. I was gonna make a point. I've completely forgotten.
Unlucky.
What I was talking about. It was to do with well, because you're a clicker.
Yeah, I am.
I'm a fidgeter as well.
I'm just a fidgeter of all things. Sometimes I'm just with my hands. I don't even have anything in my hands, but I'll just start like flipping my hands like this. I don't know why. There's something wrong with me. I need a keyboard.
I can't stop flipping my hands. That's freak behavior. Why did we invite you back? That's the question.
That's a good question. I don't know why.
That is the question. Yep. But unfortunately, I wonder what the issue is.
They guess?
They hate when we speculate.
Do they?
Yeah. But we can do it anyway.
It's really fun to do.
It really is.
There's so many that I've experienced, or that people have told me, like, this is what happened, and it's like you can't believe it, but also you can believe it.
Yeah. What's like the weirdest scenario?
The weirdest game delay?
That has happened.
Oh, that's a good question. I would have had to think about that beforehand.
What's the worst game delay you've experienced?
That I had to delay a game for?
I remember we were playing against each other, and you Maokai W'd in like a... Oh. Was that in a semi-final?
That wasn't that was a chrono break.
But like chrono break takes years.
Yes, and it was very new back then.
So
it was like, it was brand new technology. I think we might have been one of the first games to ever use it.
And also, like, with the decision to be like, oh, we can chrono break this, but also if the game dies, we just have to remake. So it's kind of like... Is it bad enough? To
warrant starting the game again?
Just over.
Yeah, and it was a really close, like it was like an even sort of game at that point.
Yeah, because I like talking, because this is the funny thing, like League of Legends is one of those games, because it's like incomplete information. Like I was on Chiefs, you're obviously on Legacy, and like I think about that situation, and we were just like, yes, like we've caught Carbon, we're going to kill him, this is going to be the team fight, and then talking to you, like retrospectively, you're like, no, like my team is coming, like I just went for the W, like, we were going to clean you up.
Yeah, no, with Godview, I was definitely going to die if that W landed. There's no doubt about it. But I just mean like,
oh no, but it's like
the game was close, and I mean in general, you
like at the time, both of us are thinking
both
that,
teams think like this is the pick that will win us the game.
Yeah. That's funny.
But it's always like remaking a game, like having the option to remake is always like I had a game one time. We were playing against Direwolves. and it was a series, and it was like game 1 or something. I think it was just like it wasn't a final. It was just like a regular series, whatever.
Yeah.
But we were losing a game. Actually, I think it was a final. Doesn't matter. We were losing a game, and we got the opportunity to remake because it was a bug. So a bug happened in a team fight. So the rule was, if there was a bug that impacted like a team fight, like a state of an interaction,
like a significant one.
Yeah, like
that was relevant.
You'd get both teams would get the opportunity to remake, and I think both teams needed to okay it or something. But basically, we were losing, but we thought we could win. You know what I mean? So we were like, do we want to though? Because we think we can come back. Like we were really, and then we were like, nah, let's not remake. We played it out anyway. We lost. And immediately after the game, we're just like, why did we not remake? Like, we had a free out. And it was just like, nah, I think we can come back. Wouldn't that be sick if we did that?
What a story. Oh, that's like the complete turnaround. Yeah, look, Aussies love an underdog story.
They do. And I think all people do.
I think that's true.
But especially Australians.
Yeah. You were talking about a series versus Direwolves.
Yep.
Talking about a different series. I just heard in my ear, series going to be subbing in for JLKC.
Oh, no.
So just after, I was like, man, this guy's actually popping off.
That's the guy.
Vladimir is the guy.
He's that guy.
Don't give him the Vladimir.
He's that guy.
Something has happened, not
now
sure.
Series is that guy.
Maybe.
How many roles has Series played in this season of OCS?
2.
Just
Did he play a support game?
He played AD carry, definitely.
Oh, then he's played 3, because he's definitely played top. He's definitely played mid.
Yeah, he definitely played. He started the year playing AD.
Okay, and that's 3.
That's
Man
crazy.
Of many oh,
that's
yes,
crazy.
he did. He played Vayne. Played a Vayne
yes,
game.
he did.
And it was like, oh, Vayne. That's a...
Oh, we're all Vayne,
That is
dude.
a risky choice.
That's bravery.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Juice plays AD, picks Ezreal. Series plays AD, picks Vayne. There we
lost.
go. That's
So why not pick Vayne? Why not have fun and lose?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Series. Okay, coach steps in.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's not for the whole night.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's a one-game thing. JLKC, I assume he was there and then couldn't play. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a delay.
Yeah.
Or perhaps they were waiting. No, because if they were waiting for him to show up, it would have already been solved, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully he shows up for the next game.
Yeah, hopefully. Game will be starting in about under 3 minutes, I've been told.
Okay.
Just getting things sorted,
Cool.
Series locked into the lobby. So we'll be getting into game very shortly. But yeah, it's not like the most surprising thing. Coming into tiebreak, it's obviously like very important games coming into this one. So sucks for Order, definitely. But Series, like they've won multiple games this season with Series on the roster.
Him, yeah.
So like it's not like random coach subbing in, like this is disaster like scenario.
Yeah.
Certainly an uphill battle, but one that they have climbed before. So yeah, not the weirdest situation to be in.
Looking at... I was looking just through the winners and losses of these two teams, which is the lower side of... Well, they were randomly seeded, you said. So it's not actually the lower side of the winners bracket.
6-5, yeah.
Yeah, but when I look at Bombers and Order, almost all of their wins have come from teams below them.
Order?
Both.
Oh, both of them. Yeah,
Both Bombers and Order have mostly beaten just the teams below them.
Yeah.
Other than...
Mprox is the only outlier. Bombers have beaten Mprox, like above them, and then Order lost to everybody above them.
Yeah. Well, Order picked up the Legacy win.
Oh.
So they both have like one standout victory,
100%.
but other than that, they've only beaten the teams below them. Whereas Chief Academy and Gravitas Academy, I think both have better overall wins.
Yeah. Yeah, so is sort of interesting coming into this one, maybe fairly evenly matched, but yeah, I do believe as well, given the late roster mishap,
it's definitely not roster submission. Otherwise, we would have known about it way beforehand.
5 bands going to be lost.
Ooh.
From Order.
That hurts.
That really does. Does it hurt when a brand new patch?
Yeah.
I mean...
And does it hurt at all?
Like this,
because we've also had this conversation
many times, but like,
does it hurt at all?
No,
it does. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts just to have your work get thrown out the window, even if strategically you end up doing okay as a result of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It hurts just to have been like, I spent 3 hours on this draft, and now it's just dead.
And now I'm playing. And Series is like, and now I am the draft.
This is not how I intended
am literally
this to
the
go.
Draft.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, certainly does. So we'll have to see how that one impacts. I'm interested to see like how much variance we get between games. You kind of mentioned it at the top of the show, in to do with like new patch, blind leading the blind somewhat. Like people just have like very different reads. Like what do we expect coming through from this one? Like,
do you watch the game that you like that just happened?
Yeah, do you
and
take anything
are you making assumptions based on that? Like, oh, Thresh looked really good, or Casio Bot. Wow, maybe they'll play Casio Bot.
Yeah.
You know. Are we getting into draft?
I believe the music says we will. The screen, on my screen, on your screen, on everybody's screen right now, says we will. So,
heck yeah.
It's been a little while, but Bombers Academy versus ORA Academy finally is going to grace us with their presence. And we are going to get into draft. First ban, Vladimir. JLKC isn't even in the lobby, but Vans has played it. Series actually played it as well when he was off-roll in the mid lane, so still makes sense there from Bombers to take that one off the table.
Yes, Vladimir, I don't think he's like overly strong, but certainly strong nonetheless. And
he's good, and they flex him.
Yeah, definitely worth a ban. Oh, we have to let them. They're timing out.
Yep.
Of course, I forgot about that.
Yep, we just don't have the technology, unfortunately.
No, Renekton.
Yeah, I expect. Well, actually, no, I didn't expect that coming through. He's been incredibly good with like Sejuani meta. Like she's been super prominent in the jungle, and now that like yeah, she got buffed.
Renekton.
Oh, Renekton. Sorry, I thought you meant Sejuani. Yes. No. Sylas got changed a little bit as well, which was like the answer to Sejuani. It was like first pick Sejuani always equals a Sylas response. You use the ulti a little bit better.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But Kled is one that I believe. Did it fall all the way through last draft, or did he get banned in the first 3 from either team?
I don't really recall Kled being banned
I want to say it actually fell all the way through, and that is super surprising, because everything that I've seen outside of pro teams, like...
Everybody's saying Kled's super OP, but certainly prior to this patch, I mean, this patch didn't come out that long ago.
Yeah.
And certainly prior to this patch, I don't think many of these players were Kled players.
Yeah, like, Kled is like a... You have to be a Kled player.
I don't think anyone's really going out of their way to play Kled before this change.
Yeah.
And unless you're paying attention to, like, the PBE, or you've spammed him since he's been changed, like, it's not a huge surprise to see Kled not get picked up.
Yeah. Okay, so first 3 bans taken off the table. Bombers effectively had their choice of first pick and got to ban to shield it because Order had no response. So, yeah, Karma is going to be the lock-in. Very flexible, can go in all 3 lanes, so doesn't show much and secures themselves a power pick. Good choice there from Bombers Academy.
Yes. We'll see what the answer is here from Order. Hovering the Jarvan. Thresh getting locked in for Harry. We didn't speak about it. Jarvan getting picked anyway.
You know what? They watched game 1. They were like, hey, blind pick Thresh. It's pretty good. I can do that.
I wonder why Vans took the Thresh instead of Uni. It's because Uni wants to pick his own champ.
Yeah.
Can you flex Jarvan to top? You can't, right? No one really does it anymore.
I'd also say into a potential Karma would be literally miserable. There is no way you're one-hitting a Karma through Mantra W, and all your damage is front-loaded as Jarvan. It's like EQ, like you get the shred, like auto ulti comes through, and by that stage she's popping like the second 40% heal.
Yep.
You're doing absolutely nothing, so I expect you're right. You're just locking down the jungler of his choosing. Seb going to do exactly the same.
Picks up the Lee Sin. Lee Sin Jarvan. Pretty even, I think. Definitely give the advantage to Lee Sin, but not hugely. Not as bad as the Olaf matchup we saw last game.
Yeah.
Sivir being hovered.
Ezreal
Thresh.
I actually super like the Sivir Thresh matchup. That was one that was popularized. I'm not going to even try and say a year, but it was multiple years ago in the LPL. Like, no other region was playing Sivir Thresh before the LPL. And then they just started spamming it. It's just like the freest wave clear Thresh Moby rushes. And then out of all the supports, it's like one of the scariest to get out of lane is Thresh. Both like aggressively and defensively can be super obnoxious in both respects. And then super hard to gank. To go on the Thresh is difficult. Like, Sivir can just like free hit you. He is really the prime target, but going on the Sivir, nigh impossible. Has the spell shield, has the lantern to get herself to safety. So, Seaway will definitely be
hard to kill.
Very safe this game. Harry not so much, but certainly locking themselves some powerful picks. A lot less early game proactivity here, though, between a Sivir and an Ezreal. Yeah.
Second game in a row. Interesting.
Yeah.
It didn't get changed, as far as I'm aware.
Weird. Vans, GP player.
Okay.
And last game, Guapi, 100% GP player.
Yeah. Okay.
So it could just be circumstantial here between these guys, much like the Kindred banner to Alani, but... Is a trend. Is a trend for 9-14. Order Academy, surprisingly, going to ban nothing for the 5th time in a row.
I wonder why. What are they doing?
Yeah.
So easy to ban. Bad micro?
Yeah. Break your mouse? Couldn't connect to lobby? Broken mouse? How do I draft?
Victor ban. Okay. Ooh. I've seen some Victor overseas.
Yep.
EU LCS. They're playing a little bit of Victor.
Mid.
I think Wunder, G2, they played at top.
Top, okay.
As well.
I thought I saw Fnatic play at mid.
Fnatic doing some weird stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
They did like the perks, and then they subbed in Magic Felix, and Reckless just didn't play.
And they're also winning games.
They lost. I'm pretty sure they lost that game.
I believe. In recent time. I don't know about the specific game.
But they swapped their mid laner to bot and then subbed their AD out and then played a different mid laner, but then they lost.
Yeah, that's multiple times Reckless has...
he just takes breaks, I think.
Actually set up.
Maybe he's just burnt.
Yeah, maybe.
He's burnt, but then
we'll
he loves it.
Him. We'll hit him after
just
this.
ring him.
Yeah. Nico did get touched on this patch. Nico, Jace, Kennen all received basically the same changes. It was just obnoxious range champions at the top lane, lost a bit of AD, a bit of attack speed scaling.
Play Ari.
Nami locked in, so Karma guaranteed in a solo lane, and Ari lock in.
Ari got her charm changed, and it's super sick. It's I think it'll be really strong. It's now CC cancelling. Oh, no, not CC. Dash cancelling.
And into Jarvan.
Yes.
We're not going to see it, though.
No. It's a shame.
A shame? Zed pick?
I would have liked to have seen it. Zed, still exciting.
Yes, 100%.
Still very exciting. Damage balance, I like. Ezreal, got some AP. Do you still go AP build? I don't think you do right now, right? I think AD is better again?
I think, like, Snowball AP, like, if you get ahead, like, Sork Boots into Ludens, super obnoxious. Okay. Like, you just win a team fight by landing an R button.
Yeah.
But, like, you can go both into a Kled, Sivir, Jarvan composition. Wouldn't be surprised at him going Frozen Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting stuff, both these guys.
Okay.
Mid lane Kled.
Well, Ceres is a top laner originally, so... Good pickup. Kled also very strong at the moment. The Kled-Zed matchup, I imagine, Zed obviously has the range bonus. He's got ranged harass, but I also see him just getting chopped up.
I also see him having great difficulty killing many people this game. Thresh, a target, yes. Jarvan, a target, yes. Nico, difficult. She has an R button. She has stealth, can dodge out of your damage. Kled, in the 1v1 matchup, goes off Skull, so you kind of like lose the ability to damage him whilst he's doing that. Has like a different health bar. Sivir has all the tools available we described earlier, so blind pick Zed was certainly a choice. I believe this Kled matchup wouldn't have been expected here from Bushy Boo Boo, so maybe fighting an uphill battle. Yeah, this is not a matchup that either of these guys have practiced more than once or twice.
No. Another Karma top. The Lux locked in at the end by Blind Turkey. We didn't speak about that. This is nerfed Lux, so we'll have to see. I think she did get... What did they change with her ult? Now...
Doesn't get the refund.
Yeah, it used to be that it reset cooldown, but they removed that and they just gave her a lower cooldown on her ult.
Yes, so doesn't snowball quite as hard, but you do just have it more often. Of course, she doesn't have the double damage on the return W, so as a defensive choice is... Wait, no, it wasn't the Lux, it was the Nami. Yeah, we talked about the Nami. Okay, loading screen lied to us.
Oh, wait. What?
Yeah, it was the Nami. They locked it in. And I was thinking, like, we didn't talk about the Lux.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Lux, because it didn't exist.
Yeah, we didn't. Of course we didn't talk about the Lux.
Two Jarvans.
Yeah.
WTF?
Oh, nice. Come on. That's a high five. I hope chat heard that. Nami lock-in. This is an old school matchup. Nami versus Thresh. I always said Thresh won. Everybody almost told me that Nami won.
Is Vans going top or mid? We're getting tricked again?
I think...
Series doesn't have TP though, so surely he goes mid.
That was an odd interaction. Hook's a trophy, but found himself a fish. Obviously he doesn't like it very much. Allergic to seafood is the Thresh and doesn't throw an ability. Yeah, I would think this is the expected matchup. Nico into Karma. Because you pick that one and then she can't do what she did to Shen, right? If you throw Kled up there, maybe he can probably fight back much more than a Shen, so Klepto would be greedy, but it's not like a range Karma versus melee matchup and then you have Nico dealing with the Zed. I feel like Bruiser into Zed serves much better than the Nico would.
Yeah, I think Shaw agrees with you. He has the Arcane Comet instead of Klepto, so I think he's also expecting Nico to appear top. It was just that Series ran top out of base, maybe out of habit.
Well, no, I actually think, like, genuinely, if you were going to go for these lanes, why wouldn't you show the opposite? because at least at the very minimum, you
but you don't show,
down.
Right?
Oh, potentially. Like if they
you could show.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, he didn't.
Yeah. To show is to, like, I guess you can run into the river. You risk dying.
Yeah.
To force show is, like, walk into turret range, and then the enemy is like, why is he walking into my turret range?
That's
They're
too
obviously
weird.
trolling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, potentially, like, fished for the show, and you don't really lose anything for it. Series. Cops a
Thanks,
turret
tower
hit.
shot.
Doesn't really mean too much, but...
Kled change. Bear trap on a rope now gives you grievous wounds for 5 seconds after the pull.
Yes.
So it's only if he yanks you, but it's also 60%.
Yeah.
And not 40.
Executioners, Morello's, both 40. So if you pop in a potion during a fight, which you expect most people to actually go for, just it's only going to be at 40% effectiveness. So he's super obnoxious there. Zed, out of all like the champions, when you look at the Kled changes, you obviously think of top side, and top lane champions tend to have a lot more sustain than mid laners do. Zed has basically nil unless he invests, so won't be the biggest thing into him here. The 9.14 patch change for Kled, but interesting nonetheless.
Nice bit of CSing out of Vans. Hit all the creeps as well as the cannon with only auto attacks. That's what you like to see.
Ooh.
As Uni gets caught in the river, Seb's still chasing.
Yeah, EQ's out of the Lee queue. Spitting lyrics on the OCS, but Crab is going to go over to Seb at the end of the day.
Yeah, using your... the thing with Jarvan is that you only have one move, and it's both your engage and disengage. And if you use it for one, you can't use it for the other. So EQing out means he has to give up the Crab immediately, and Seb won't be able to run from bot to top and just pick himself up 2 scuttles.
Yeah. Got a cheeky leash from the enemies, walks top side, has the priority to deal with. So, yeah, very good start for the Lee Sin. Exactly what you wanted. You can see Uni on the other side knew that Lee has cleared his top side jungle, and now, yes, lost the Crab, slunk back to his own, but immediately is fishing for a little bit of vision, is going to find himself a Golem camp. Does have Harry on the Thresh in the bottom side. We haven't looked at the bot lane matchup as of yet. You would expect safety from the Ezreal, but they expect something is happening. Hook. Prediction was on, but doesn't quite find the mark. Zenk getting himself to safety, but still sitting very low on mana, so a fight back 2 versus 2 would be difficult here for Bombers.
Yeah, I mean, he does get out at full health, but being super low mana, not a position you really want to be in as Ezreal, and they will cede lane priority here, I think, for the next little while. Order Academy just happy to last hit and let this wave build up. You can see that Bombers auto-attacking the wave, trying to get it to push back a little bit, but as soon as Harry gets that bush control, Bombers have to show respect.
Just infinitely harder to contest. You saw the Luxin loading screen, and you can think about the Nami matchup fairly similarly, except she is just infinitely squishier, right? There's no aftershock, there's no ability to really live if you get hooked, so walking at a Thresh alone in a bush is a recipe for disaster, so Blind Turkey has to just concede here. Ezreal, of course, has access with the Klepto. He can get mana pots, he can get mana back from the biscuits with the Inspiration Tree, but sitting fairly low right now, has to ding buttons. That is a spell
bubble.
Shield down. Bubble lands onto the Sivir, but...
Nice bit of trading there from Blind Turkey. Seaway misses the spell shield. Blind Turkey able to get that ebb and flow, as well as a couple auto attacks, and then lands the bubble in the end anyway. So good bit of leading from him so far. We did have some questions in the pre-game about what this bot lane would look like, and so far, not so bad.
Yeah. He's a long-time Nami player, and I think has only played Nautilus in the OCS this year. Double back-to-back Nautilus games. This is very aggressive, but what you do expect out of a Nami matchup relies on a lot of communication, being able to step up at the right time, because you really want to capitalize on the double bounce from your W. Harry
trying to get bush control.
Actually got bound.
He really has no business doing it, and flash away from Blind Turkey.
Yeah, double flash there. Okay. Zed got the chickens, though.
Zenk still looking for something. No summoners on the Sivir, and Lee Sin is coming in from behind. So
Hook does go wide. Lee Sin, as you mentioned, on the flank. Jarvan is lying in wait, but can they clean up the kills before he arrives? TP is going to come out from the Nico, coming from base, so has the shop as well. Flash forward, gets the Pop Blossom onto the Ezreal. EQ from Jarvan, not even necessary. Able to clean that one up. Seb going to take a couple of auto attacks, but it's not the trade you wanted on the bottom side of the map for the Bombers.
Yeah, both top laners did have TP, but I think there must have been a big wave at Shaw's Tower or something, because he opted to just stay at the turret, and TP traded for a flash and a kill onto the Ezreal. The worst result if you're Order Academy.
Yeah, I think it is important to take stock of a couple of things that just happened. Mid lane CS discrepancy, Kled absolutely winning that one, and that was forcing Bushibubu out of lane, and he actually invests time to go farm the Raptors whilst that bot lane play was happening, because he can't lane against the Kled. He was unable to sort of contest that one. This is a bit of a weird lane swap as they're just trying to catch waves, but yeah, forcing on the bottom side. We didn't see what happened, but the bubble connected. Summoners were completely burnt. The double combat there from Order, able to turn it around. They have the Ignite and the heal, whereas Zenk is holding onto the TP, so maybe inability to complete the kill despite landing the initial CC means that Order, they turn that one around. They have the jungle lying in wait and come out a little bit better off in that one.
Yeah, well, the interesting one for me is the fact that, as we see it, dash forward from series, but no bear trap means no continued trade. Is that Seaway burnt all his sums?
Yeah.
Despite Harry being the one who got bubbled. So whether he flashed in front to save Harry, or whether the Bombers bubbled Thresh and decided to all in on Sivir, and split their damage.
Yeah.
Not really sure what happened, but it is certainly strange.
Yeah.
The CC hits the person who, and the other person burns sums.
Yeah.
I like the wraparound from Seb, though. And what I really liked was the discipline to not throw the Q at Thresh. Because once he killed Sivir, Thresh was he hadn't used his Q to kill the Sivir, and Thresh was quarter health. So he definitely had the damage to kill Thresh if he didn't flay the Q off, but immediately knew that it wasn't a good idea.
Oh, EQ gets buffered through the Dragon's range. Flash away from Uni. Hook is going to buy a little bit of time. The box connects over the wall, so Nami is just dead to rights. Bushibubu.
This time it's Shaw's turn to TP, though, and he lands the ult.
Deathmark is there. Jarvan is all but dead. Harry in no man's land, underneath his own turret, actually. Seb committing to this one. Shaw flashes to get the shields off, but not necessary at the end of the day. Root is started, but they don't continue this play. So Bombers collapse, find one. Not able to look for more.
This time, Bombers with a teleport in. Unfortunately, not able to get very much more other than that double buff transfer. Kill onto the Jarvan. In the end, they just let Order Academy walk away from under the tower. In the meantime, Van's just working on those platings in the top lane. I think he picked 2 up there, which is a pretty big deal, as well as a huge wave by the look of it that Shaw is missing. So Vans might enter this mid-game with a pretty significant lead.
Yeah, and it's also somewhat a comparison of the intangibles, right? Like Vans TP's bottom side, he gets a flash. Hot Blossom gets himself a kill, so now he's sitting first item. Didn't TP that play because, of course, he just didn't have the summoner available, and pushes in, gets 2 plates, so Shaw didn't really get anything bar an assist, and definitely favor, I guess, should go over the Vans in this one. Now, completed the Super Soaker. Karma still working on her first item here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it just says a lot about the laning. You know, in one example, Shaw is under tower and isn't able to follow the TP without sacrificing a lot of CS. And then in the other example, when Shaw TPs, the wave is at his tower again, and Vance is just hitting it, and he loses the wave. So we haven't checked in with top lane much this game, but my assumption is that Vance has been winning this lane pretty handily.
Yeah, certainly the case. Got himself the better purchases as well. Had the base timing, able to push in, get himself a reset earlier just based on the minimap. So both solo lanes going in Order's direction. They fought tooth and nail the last game of the season. Week 11 was them versus Chiefs to force the 4 versus the 4-man
Series is behind
tiebreaker
here, and Uni is on his way.
That was an interesting play there from Harry. Hook.
Ooh, I really thought that was going to land.
Barely doesn't land onto Zenk, so he cues the bush blind.
They don't know Series is here, but Bushy is looking for something.
Pink Ward now dead. Vision denied, and Order are not going to commit to the play. Couldn't crash the wave, couldn't find the CC, so everything goes astray, and no dive potential is there. Ooh.
Seb checking the dragon, but it does mean he gets roped. No flash on the jungler.
Kick. Ulti is going to get burnt, so the charge is here from Order Academy. Hop over the wall for Seb, gets himself to safety, finds himself a Krog camp, and everybody else just backs away.
Yeah, Series may be hoping that Kled would pull him over the wall, but wasn't to be. Unfortunately, couldn't get in range in time. Earth Dragon does get started up, but Bombers are looking to collapse.
Yeah, the full wraparound here for the Bombers. Nami Wave comes out, hits 2. Bubble not going to quite find the mark. Jarvan secures the Dragon, but can they continue this fight? No charge available for the Clade. He gets demounted. Zenk dishing out a bunch of return damage. The Zed goes into the back line. Thresh is popped. Can they continue this one? Q barely misses onto Seaway. Dodge to the left gets into safety. Double flash commit from Bombers, but unable to find the CC. Single kill goes over to Bombers, but ORA collect the Dragon.
Yeah, nice little play there from Seb. Looks for the steal, but manages to survive. Uni looking for the trade back, or maybe just doesn't want to see his Gromp disappear. Seb paying a little bit of respect. Yeah, pulls Nami from the lane, but in the end decides, I just got, a kill and 2 assists. Probably don't need this Gromp as well. Yeah,
wave situation was good for the Bombers as well. Crashed underneath the turret, so if Uni is going to pull his laner away to contest the Gromp, then Seaway is just sacking farm for that, whereas Nami really had nothing else to do. So smart play. He's able to reset it and get that one back on the board. But gold lead still bang on dead even between these two guys. You can see most of the discrepancy is actually in the top side there for the Nico. The largest lead approaching 1,000 here for top laner of Order and Vans.
Yeah, interesting one is that mid lane. 600 gold difference between Zed and Kled, despite Kled having pretty significant CS lead. Well, she's picked up 2 kills in these skirmishes so far. We'll have to see whether that continues to happen because, I mean, we talked about how difficult this matchup would be.
Okay.
Bear Trap hits the crab.
Almost got the yank.
No yank.
No yank, no crab. That's what they always say.
That's the age-old saying.
That's the age-old. You know what they say.
Everybody says that.
Yeah. No yank, no crab.
Almost hits. Harry's got the Swifties. Thoughts?
Oh, interesting. Many slows on the other team. Nami E, probably the biggest one he's worried about. Karma Q, Lee E.
Yep.
Interesting ones.
Gauntlet, potentially.
Maybe just wants in-combat movement speed. If you take a look at his comp, he's got the double AoE speed buffs, so...
Yeah, does he really need it?
You can... Well, it's one of those things where maybe doesn't really need it, but maybe looks at the Mobies and is like, I'm not going to struggle to get into the fights because Siv's going to get me there, Kled's going to get me there, and then once I'm in, I just want to be able to keep up. Yeah. I don't need the ability to get there first, so... Yeah, choices to be had, and then his laning matchup, a lot of it does come down to can bubble connect. E always foreshadows a bubble coming out from the Nami, so...
Yeah.
Didn't quite see when he
Hook is
purchased
going to
that.
hit.
Hook. Ulti popped immediately. Flay not going to quite land, but Ignite is popped. Very nice prediction on the Q. Blind Turkey. Wave and W is going to save the Ezreal, but not a good situation for the Bombers bottom lane.
No summoners burned on the side of Bombers, and assuming that they don't take any tower damage here, I think it's going to be a bit of a no harm, no foul situation. However, in the bottom lane, Bushy tanks one too many.
That sucks. Looks for the
Vans
dive.
picks himself up a kill. Vans with the Tarbies.
Yeah.
Despite laning into Karma. Heads up play from him.
Finds himself in the side lane matchup against the Zed. Finds himself with a solo kill as well. Shelly popped immediately. Post 14 minutes, so no plates to be had here for Order, but get themselves the all-important mid lane turret. Blind Turkey is just mashing his W button to keep Zenk up after the earlier hook, but not quite enough to defend that one.
No. Nice little Rift Herald take by Uni there. Rift Herald is so valuable in the current meta. Platings. I mean, early pressure was already good, taking the tower, but with the introduction of the tower planes, I mean, I know they didn't get any.
And it's, I guess Rift Herald and Baron, in terms of like a bigger picture, is to do with the current state of the meta. And we're having... I'll call it an interesting conversation about ways to win games last game, but no comps in the current meta are like full 5v5 Alistar flash button go comps. You don't have... Well, until this patch, maybe you didn't have the Kled to hard force. You don't have the Maokai, you don't have the Ali.
Yeah.
And also the side laners that are picked are side laners that want priority to then group at the fight. You don't have the Jax, you don't have like the Fiora that just wants to split push you to death. Ultimately, it does come down to get priority side lane, force fight with numbers advantage, and then... How do you end games? Those sort of comps, as the map gets smaller and smaller and you do enclose an enemy territory, it is harder and harder to progress your lead. So things like the Rift Herald to open the map up early, allow you to snowball harder, super valuable. And then also those types of comps that we do see in 9-13, 9-14 rely on the Baron to realistically be able to end a game. Yeah,
for sure. Current meta definitely about early lane priority, just trying to pick the best matchups you can as opposed to picking for a particular team comp. Although that does happen, but... Not as much. It's certainly, you see a lot of 5 good champions versus like tank comp or like 131 or whatever.
What do we say? It's like when you're playing TFT and you just got a bunch of tier 2 units. You just got a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Oh, hook lands. Seb's a dude.
No play.
Looking in a bit of trouble, but Flash gets himself to safety. Series is still looking for more. Missed the bear trap on a rope on the Z, but Shadow's going to get him to safety.
2 hooks in a row from Harry that have netted them pretty nice advantages. Looking pretty good on the Thresh so far with the Swifties. What's he building?
I think he does this a lot. He goes for the max CDR, like the double...
Yeah, Glacial. He just hits that Kindle Gem just raw.
Yep.
It's like a dude build.
He's got a dude build. Sure, yeah, goes for the max CDR. I'm curious if he takes Cosmic Insight and just goes for like 45%. Because there are like different styles of Thresh players. There's the Relic Shield build Tabbies, build Merc Treads. I'm just a BT like I am really like a melee range tank support Thresh. Or then you have like this sort of build where you very often see people go for like Moby's coin and redemption, but Harry sort of splitting the difference here, has a little bit of everything. Hook. Looking for something. Uni is just going for the hard commit onto the Nami. Not able to find the kill immediately, but Series comes for the wraparound over the wall behind. Hook lands round number 2. Pop Blossom at the back end isn't able to lock down Shaw, but how that started and how 3 kills eventuated, nobody knows. Or to clean up the Bombers.
Okay, so to quote a good friend of mine, Tallywhacker, that is for sure a classic cannon minion fight. That's an OCS classic. That's his when both teams just run mid, there's nothing up, but there's a cannon wave, and you just need to commit, like for whatever reason. But what I want to talk about is that Kled ult. Jarvan terrain forces Kled to take the other way around.
Yeah.
Because he needs to arrive at the
destination.
At the X, but he can't because Jarvan ult is there. But because there was a champion within range of him and the wall, he got to go over the wall.
So yeah, obviously he locked onto a champion.
But after he had already changed direction.
Yes. If you Jarvan ulti on top of the Kled mark, what happens like if he can't connect to a champion but also can't make it to the X?
I think he fizzles out.
He just fizzles,
like he,
right?
He would just go to the closest point and stop, I think.
Yeah, okay. But of course, closest point equal champion and range equals Series.
Equals over the wall.
Mega dive to the back line.
3-man, chop, chop, chop with a Tiamat.
That is the dream scenario for a coach subbing in here. Definitely a good situation. Series 2-0 finds himself with a Black Cleaver now approaching the second item. This is a fight. You're going to land from Van. Second route is going to come through. Ultis have been popped, but Shaw buys enough time. This is the Luden's Karma, so it has a little bit more of a punch than the
Way pings in the middle lane. Jarvan's getting caught out. Wave.
Okay, everybody all over the place right now. Hook is looking for Zed. Deathmark gets himself out of the CC. Not able to find the Jarvan, but Harry is continuing this play. Q lands from Seb. Do they want to commit to the fight? Everybody closing in on the mid lane, and that's the gentleman's agreement. Everybody backing away.
Yeah, I think Uni sort of got collapsed on a little bit, clearing some vision, but is tanky enough. Has that Cinder Hulk and the Tarbies. I think he had a Chain Vest at the time also.
Yep.
And EQ, of course, notoriously difficult to cancel. Pretty much always buffers out. And
he beats everything but Thresh.
Yeah, manages to find himself amongst his teammates. Survives Bushy's Z-ult. So both teams just reset to neutral.
Ooh. Now, Shaw looking for the tether onto Vans. Isn't able to
has
find
Flash.
It. Clone, I thought was going to be the one to block the Q. Dragon's Rage gets buffered with a stopwatch, but still on cooldown. There comes the kick. Q has landed. Vans winning the 1v1, but the 1v2 is difficult. Dive onto topside. Series struggling to click the lantern, but is able to find it. Zenk very low underneath his turret, but can he secure this kill? Very nice hook. He's able to take him down. The remount close, but Harry looking to bring the jungle in. Uni actually Cataclysm over the top, and Order just with a straight-up clean team fight at the end of the day. 1 by 1 by 1, everybody trickles in, and a 3 for 3 across the board.
That was just tragedy after tragedy, but in the end, Order, they pick themselves up 3 quick ones. Bombers opting to teamfight on both sides of the map at once. Cardinal sin, but because Order had that failed dive, they thought, well, we can punish here, and Series was so close to getting that remount, but unfortunately the ult pops just beforehand.
A bunch of clutch stuff happening from both supports. Zed always spawns behind his target, so the hook on point there from Harry, and then the Lantern bringing in the Sivir immediately into an army bubble. So both supports really just styling on the opponents there, but Bombers do somewhat get punished at the end of the day. Seaway comes up with multiple kills and just explodes significantly far ahead of the Ezreal right now. Has cheaper items. Is 2 for 2 right now, and they both have the completed boots, but Sivir's going to be dishing out so much more damage in these team fights. 5, 1, and 3.
Yep.
Already mentioned, super hard to kill on the backside with the spell shield. Stopwatch has the Thresh Lantern. This is certainly a Sivir game from Seaway.
Got the variety bucket of dragons. We've had one of each so far for Order Academy.
Have some consistency here in the OCS. Got a second Ocean Dragon on the way.
Well, it was always going to be a second of something, I suppose.
That's true. You can't get all 4.
You can't get 4.
Right, just don't like fun.
Do you think they should have 4?
I don't know. Ooh. Very nice flay, but still gets kicked back, Seb. He's having a look for it. Bubble, as you mentioned, not going to connect. Juke onto the CC. He's going to land the hook again. Bombers bringing in more members.
Up, though, so they are going to catch them.
They have the move speed, as you mentioned, on the catch. Flank from Zed, and they are able to take him down. Harry caught in no man's land with no flash. Uni once again looking for the fight, but does have series on into the backline. Bear Trap on a rope connects onto the Karma. Everybody is here. Pop Blossom flashed onto the backside. Does not connect Uni. Pops the Gargoyle. Is incredibly tanky, but damage still being dished out all over the place.
That's
the 80 carries now tripling through. Bubble lands onto multiple members. Seaway finally arrives. Ezreal ulti looks to clean up. Demounts the Kled, but that is going to be the end of the fight. Zenk still wanting more, but Boomerang from Seaway keeps him at bay.
Seaway lets him know, you come forwards, I'm going to kill you. Throws the Boomerang out. Super sloppy fight there. Just a bunch of picks, one after the other. Seaway forced to give up the wave for a moment, but with the respawn of Thresh, I think they're probably going to be able to hold on to this one.
Ezreal, during the fight, actually hit the Muramana pop, so went from dishing out no damage to dishing out significant damage. You saw Seaway get chunked for about 400 HP there.
Yep.
Bad situation for him, so deals with the wave. Harry stops the base of his opponents there. So very close fight. Both of these teams somewhat getting punished for looking for the punish of their opponents, right? It was a dive onto Zenk into the top side, and then Bombers look to punish, and then ultimately they lose the fight. Same situation can be seen from their series dives. Incredibly deep into enemy territory, but didn't have an 80 carry in the map, didn't have an 80 carry in the team fight, so damage just was not there to clean up, and Bombers able to force them back.
Seems like so far the aggressor loses, but then ultimately wins.
Yeah, okay.
Because they stuff up the first play, other team tries to punish, but then they end up numbers disadvantage.
You know what I mean? It's just the classic superhero storyline. We get introduced and it's like, man, this guy is sick. Oh no!
He has the one thing that he loses to.
Something bad is happening.
Wait a minute.
But he's so cool though. And then he wins. God
Everybody
damn, what a storyline. What a storyline.
Indeed.
Series, getting some vision on the bottom side. Order actually have very good control of the map right now, given that they did get forced back after that team fight, but they have vision around the Baron pit, they have vision around bot side, so Series is very safe. I believe double wards are actually blue trinkets here. It was Nico that was previously deployed down towards the bottom side of the map, so she's warded near the red buff, and I'll call it the banana bush, just a little bit south from it, and now Lee Sin clears out the one of his Raptors, but those have stuck for the time being. He's going to get the Shadow to safety, but that's going to be a flash hook. Predicts it as well. Pop Blossom comes through. CC Chain is on point. Just very nicely played from the top support duo of Order there.
Yeah, lovely game out of Harry so far. Big fan of what he's been able to do. He's hit a few crucial hooks, sidestepped a few crucial skill shots.
Oh, Series.
He gets his ult cancelled, but his team is here.
On the hunt is Pop, so all the rest of the team are coming piling in over the top of this one. Unable to take down the Kled, so 2 picks back-to-back, and that may just spell a Baron start here from Order. Series desperately wants the remount onto Skull, but
they're looking at it. They do have the mountain, but they are pretty low, and it is scary. Harry gets hit by a bubble. A bit of poke from Zenk.
Yeah, Nami Ezreal, probably one of the scariest duos to do a Baron against. Ezreal dishes out so much damage, has that extra safety, has that extra healing that Nami does provide, so Order had the man advantage, 5 versus 3, but decided it was not enough to take down the Worm, not enough to start that risk, and do take the safer play. Go back to base, spend their gold, and look to redeploy back on the map.
Yep. 5v5s are only going to get easier if you're Order Academy. I mean, Siva is fed, but she's only going to get more fed. They definitely have the scaling on their side, I believe. Israel still serviceable late game, for sure. But I really like Siva.
Yeah, I think crit 80 carry as you get towards the later stages. Can hit the front line, can hit the back line. We'll say Bombers don't necessarily have the beefiest front line known to man. Lee Sin is basically where it stops. They have pseudo health with the Karma. She, given the matchup, is able to build a significant amount of AP. Went for the Ludens into the Chalice upgrade there of the Athene. So didn't have to spend the extra gold on the Frozen Fist. Doesn't have to take that price, but certainly not the tankiest lineup known to man. Second Ocean picked up as they add it to the variety
TP
bucket.
coming through. They are thinking about Baron?
I think they were very worried that they didn't see Order on the map and they thought they may have popped over the back of the Baron pit and looked to be starting that one up.
But they had it already pinked. Like that blue pink has been there
you're
for
true.
a while.
You're true.
I
You're
am
correct.
True. I am the truth. Zed might be caught out here. It's pretty far up.
Can the rest of Bombers collapse on this fight? Still has the death mark. Still can dodge out a decent amount of damage, but that is a very nice CC lockdown. Series gets the rip back and is able to lock down Bushy. So Zed off the map. Round number 2 ought to step up towards the Baron. They don't have the Crab, but they do have numbers advantage time and again. Now with the second Ocean Dragon, they have the sustain to match.
Yeah, they got that mountain too, so I think this one is one that you start and commit to. Seb, however, is in the area as Cledot comes out.
Lands at the blind token, flashes over the wall after the connect. Very nicely played there from the Nami player. Seb caught in no man's land, has a minion wave to dash to, but not a situation he wants to be in right now. Flash loose, actually dodged out from Seb. Huge play from the Lee Sin, does get hooked up and the fight starts on the other side of the lane. Dashes over the wall, Ignite will be able to lock him down over the backhand. Almost clutched it for the Bombers, but ought to pick up the kill.
Yeah, sick little play there from Seb. Dodges out on the skill shot, gets that big team fight kick, but unfortunately, with one man already down, Bombers not able to capitalize as that Q
bollocks
doesn't cancel the recall. Seaway, very happy about that one.
Yes.
Would have for sure died otherwise.
Flash is not going to save you when you're slowed by the Frozen Fist. Ezreal has the dash to keep up. Saves himself a stopwatch as well. So very close set of circumstances around the Baron, but Order have had the gold lead, about 4,000 for the past 5-ish minutes or so of this game, but unable to connect enough around the Baron pit to really commit to it.
Yeah. Still getting priority in all 3 lanes at the moment, Order Academy. So Baron vision control should certainly be in their hands. We can see them now moving into the river, putting some pinks down, which means the pressure will once again be on the Bombers to react, and double water and a mountain is definitely a good setup for starting and stopping Barons.
Yeah, one of those false start situations where you're just sitting there, and it has been 2 times in a row. They sit there, they start the Baron, but you can see all they want to do is force.
Back up.
They just force the fight. Right? The Baron damage they can shrug off due to the Oceans, and then Kled presses his R button, and they look for a team fight. So
mid lane shoved in. They're moving back towards the Baron. Ezreal ult is down now. There is one blue trinket still available as well. So Bombers get 1 free check. There it is. Blue trinket goes down. They know that they're on it.
So
TP coming in.
Going to come out in the mid lane. Harry trying to shepherd off the Zed. Scry's Bloom comes over the top, and Series hasn't pressed the R button as of yet. Clone dashing into the backside, but that is a very weird ultimate.
Bombers are going to get mid priority here, which means it's going to be awkward positioning for Order Academy. But they just brute force it. They just walk straight into the mid lane. They say, we know we have a gold lead. We know we're stronger. Kled making his way back down to bottom. Looks like they may be resetting to neutral game state here.
Yeah, well, they burnt the Kled ulti, and that is their major engage tool. They still have backup in the Sivir ult available, so definitely could look for a fight if they wanted to, but
looks like Bombers are going to commit to mid, but that Ezreal is starting to do big damage, and E-forwards from Zenk.
Spell shield, very nice from Seaway. Possibly could have been another big burst of damage, but yeah, we kind of talked about what the Ezreal builds coming into this one we expect. This is going to be a rip back onto shore, and the healing chop there from the Kled. Super impactful into a Karma matchup, so Shaw is definitely going to struggle playing against the Kled in the side lane.
Yeah, the Grievous Wounds as well. That's
yeah,
empowered W. Not going to do what it usually does, which means Shaw's probably going to have to play with a bit more respect than he would otherwise.
Yeah.
Certainly more respect than he would have played with before this patch.
Because top lane Karma is quite literally reliant on the Mantra W. Trading patterns all involved, like small annoying trades. You hit a Q and a wave, a little bit of poke, you have the Ludens, you can pop that. But any all-in, you're just running away, you hit the Mantra W, you kite, you Q, you slow, you shield, you walk away, and you look for that healing. But if Kled is able to find the lockdown, very easy, very squishy when you don't have any healing available. Seb,
a little bit of Baron control.
Yeah, some of that control that was there for Order, but complete reset has come out for them time and again. Last time we saw Bombers looking at the Baron pit and being like, okay,
it's going to be a hard dive to pull off.
Is something happening? Vans also actually checked the Tribe Rust there with a Kled Ghost. So
Vans has a lot of self-peel, but looks like he will just respect the potential dive, trade it for the Dragon.
Ooh.
Gives him the tower.
Q did connect, but you can see the recall was semi-committed to there by Bushi, so...
Yep. Double Mountain now for Order Academy. These Barons are going to get quicker and quicker as the game goes on, and there's wards on there currently for Bombers, so it's going to take a little while before they all get cleared out and there's any real Baron threat, but it is certainly going to be there soon.
Yeah,
and I'd be in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Series does have the ulti, isn't currently blocked by anyone. Now, Lee Sin in melee range does get immediately kicked back into the rest of the boys. Very nice bubble
Baron
to protect
though.
from the flash, and that
not.
is going to be the Baron. Potentially started on the other side, so Series falls down for free. True Shot Barrage does check, and anxiety alleviated there for the Bombers as it's not going to be started up.
Game's going to get extended for a few more minutes. We're up to 40-plus second death timers.
Oh.
Sure.
Didn't account for the move speed. Pop Blossom. It's going to be used on top
Bushy
side. Vans is incredibly low, but can they burst down the Zed? Shadow gets himself back to safety. Bubble is going to connect.
He cannot die here.
Lantern does get taken. So Nico's safe, Jarvan's safe. No pick available for Bombers. And you can see they're kind of struggling to lock people down. Bombers' game state right now, you mentioned it earlier. Sivir is only going to get stronger. Teamfights are only going to get better here from Order, and they don't have any engaged potential. Zed lane really does rely on getting ahead early and being able to snowball and have pressure in the side lane, but you can see no TP means that Karma has to deal with the Kled in the side lane. We've already mentioned multiple times that Karma just cannot deal with the Kled. Series just chopped down a bot lane turret, did die in the enemy jungle, but is making so much progress, and now a little bit of a lull on the blue side of the map. A ping goes down onto the Baron pit, but Blue Orb way too little, way too late. That's a 5-man Baron completed for free here for Order.
Yeah, I mean, Harry was hitting a ward there, so Bombers probably had some idea that it was happening, but just nowhere near the Baron. Nothing they could really do, even if they knew. Just caught resetting, and yeah, Double Mountain. That's what happens. Baron melts.
Double Ocean, Double Mountain. Baron absolutely dead, so it's interesting to see how Order want to set up the map. They've just been looking for the all-out 5 versus 5. Kled deployed to the bot side. Spend some time taking down the Crab, and it's going to be a very difficult defense here for Bombers. Ezreal does significant damage, but is realistically the only member of the team right now dealing significant damage. One-man army is Zenk. You can see struggling to clear out the mid-wave as Order just posturing further and further into Bombers territory.
Yeah, I mean, Seb has opted into the full damage build, more or less.
True.
There is a bunch of HP along with those items, but given the opportunity to stack his cleaver and hit a kick on a low health target, he can kill some people, but a lot of armor stacked on the Order side, which I think is why Ezreal still hurts, but the rest don't. Barely misses.
Just fishing for something right now. Waves now entirely crashed onto the inhibs. Ulti comes out to try and clear out something, but does not do enough. Turret now broken. First port of call, the base has fallen. Inhib now the target. You can see Bombers willing to concede this one. Mid lane turret is dead. Can they defend the bottom lane inhib? Series posturing very aggressively. Flash kick back into the team, but is the Kled the target that you want? Pop Blossom. Huge stun onto the backside. One member already dead. Karma is soon to follow. Cataclysm onto Blind Turkey. In Order are just routing this team fight. Bubble lands onto 3, but a little Nami against the world is going to do absolutely nothing. That's the fight they needed. ORA break the base. Now onto the Nexus turrets. Looked a little bit shaky early, but the composition from Bombers never found themselves online. Hooks landing from Harry, team fights landing from Series, and that's going to be the game. Victory goes to ORA Academy.
Yeah, huge team fights in the end from ORA Academy. Siva proved just way too much, I think, in the end. Just that damage across the team fight. Vans, I think, had a huge performance on the Nico. Managed to make things happen with the TP. A lot of crucial ults in team fights, as well as getting side lane picks. Kled, Series, shouts out to Series, the coach, subbing in at the last minute.
Zero bans, no mid laner. Victory.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah, and I like that this was a good showing now 2 weeks in a row, right? I mentioned earlier, like they beat Chiefs to get themselves into the tiebreaker situation. Fate entirely in their hands. Now first game, 2 games to play today. They take down the Bombers in pretty emphatic fashion from every part of the map, right? Like you're saying, shouts out Vans at the top side. Yeah, shouts out Harry landing hooks all over the place. Like
shouts out.
It's just like actually genuinely across the board. That was solid performances from multiple members, and then they keep it together. Yes, there's like a few lapses here. Series dies randomly in the jungle. They're not able to force, and they spent a lot of time fishing for team fights. But they got themselves into a good situation. Scaling draft against some risky stuff thrown at them there by the Bombers. Didn't work. Got themselves a W.
It was a really nice draft, actually. I think, like given like the state of the patch, they had a lot of move speed. They had Kled, which is the the meta pick, but in a decent matchup in the lane where he could get lots of farm. They gave Karma away first pick. They had no bans, but Nico meant that the lane was more or less nullified. Well, in fact, he won it pretty handily. But as far as the draft goes, I think it looked really, really good. And it's probably my favorite, I think, of the night as far as this newest patch.
100%. We've seen 4 so far, but ORA able to pick up that victory. So that does mean next game is going to be winners bracket. ORA versus Chiefs. Both of those guys do progress. Victorious from games 1 and 2.
They just beat the Chiefs.
ORA
did as well.
Yeah, like week 11 as well. So like coming into that one, maybe look at the favorites.
The rerun, the run back.
Which is surprising, I guess, as well, because like Chiefs for the start of the split, looking at like one of the top dogs, and then ORA was certainly fighting upwards, but towards the end of the split coming online, that does mean that Gravitas and Bombers, they go into the losers bracket, so 1 more game apiece between them. The loser of that, unfortunately, out of the tournament. Winner does get another chance, but those games will be only 5 minutes away. Go get yourself a cheeky glass of water, cheeky thing of popcorn. See you in a bit.